All right, we're here for this week's Coach's Corner, and Coach, we opened up Big East play last weekend. If you want to talk a little bit about the series with Seton Hall.
Yeah, it was a tough series. We played a 13-inning game on Friday that actually was continued into Saturday morning. It was just a grind of a game. There was a lot of people during the course of the 14 innings. Both Seton Hall and Villanova, with guys in scoring position, weren't able to drive them in. We had Paul Rambo throw a guy out at the plate late, the 7th or 8th inning to keep the game tied. We brought our closer in, Mike Francisco. He went 3 innings, which is a little bit unorthodox, or he hasn't done it per se in the past. Julian Diaz came in for 3 innings, and eventually, in the bottom of the 14th, Marlon Calby got a ball down the left field line, got on second base. We had a sac bunt, and we were kind of able to go to one of our bread and butter plays, what we call a USC play. It was just kind of a bunt run type play. They had a good pitcher. He misplayed it, and we were able to eventually get the victory in that. Games 2 and 3. I tip my hat to Seton Hall. They just did a much better job on the mound, especially in Saturday's game. Joe DeRocco, he threw a complete game for him. He was exceptionally well, shut us out. And Sunday we had the lead, just weren't able to hold it, and the rest of Sunday just didn't get on with it.
All right, now this Tuesday we won our first round Liberty Bell game against Lafayette. How did that game go, and what do you see in the semifinals?
That was good. It was important. Liberty Bell. It's the Philadelphia Phillies put it on, and it's a single elimination tournament between the Big 5 teams: Delaware, Lafayette, and Lehigh. Our draw this year was Lafayette. I thought we played an extremely good game for 8 innings. Kevin McLaughlin had complete control of the game on the mound, and we had a little bit of trouble there in the 9th inning. Lafayette kept kind of battling and scrapping. They got some guys on base. Julian Diaz came in the game, got a ground ball, and we got the victory. So we're able to move on to the second round versus LaSalle down in Philadelphia next Tuesday. So it's a little bit of a revenge game for us from earlier in the season, and it's something that we get a chance to go play at Citizens Bank Park later in April. I think probably in the last 5 years, I think we've either played in the championship game or we've got to the semifinals. It's something that's important to our program, and it's something I really like to have happen for our seniors. I think that's during their senior year, if they can get another trip down and get a victory and get the gold watch, it's just something that we have a lot of fun with, and we really appreciate the Phillies for hosting this tournament every year.
All right, and aside from the fact that it's nice that that win came in a tournament atmosphere, like you said, for 8 innings, it was a very complete effort. We put a number of hits on the board. We pitched well, so going into this weekend, it's nice to be coming off of an effort like that.
Absolutely. We needed to play well on Tuesday. Losing 2 games, in league play, at home that's always a tough shot, because we do pride ourselves as playing well at home, being a great home team. And so Tuesday's effort by McLaughlin was extremely important for our organization. One, Kevin is coming back from that being sick earlier in the year, so it was his 3rd start of the season. I thought that was his best effort by far on Tuesday. We went out in very tough winter conditions, basically. We had probably about a 20 to 25 mile an hour wind blowing in from left field. The ballpark was playing extremely small. You weren't going to hit a ball over an outfielder's head, and you had to grind for everything that you can get. Somehow, some way, we put 10 plus hits on the board. I was happy with that. We played real solid defense, and like I said, for 8 2/3 innings, we pitched the ball extremely well. And the 1 inning Lafayette got something going. I just tip my hat. They battled in. They wanted it bad. They got some guys on base, but Diaz got him out, and we got a victory. And that puts us, propels us forward into this weekend's game series versus South Florida.
Now it's not easy playing in this cold, this windy conditions. But with the team from Tampa coming in this weekend, do we maybe not mind the cold that much?
I hope so. You look in other sports. You probably hear more about weather conditions in football than you do baseball. But when you sit there and you think about NFL playoffs, and teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers having to come to Philadelphia or Chicago, or warm weather teams from California making their way up to New England, it seems to be an advantage. And we hope it plays that way this weekend for us. I mean, South Florida has a lot of talent. I mean, I'm looking down to Mendy, Brazil, Junior Carlin, guys that have really hurt us offensively in the past. Rudy Fontenez, their Friday night guy. I voted for him as Big East Pitcher of the Year, first team All Big East. Every year this guy's been, in the league. So if the weather helps us neutralize some of South Florida's talent, certainly we'll take that every day of the week. It just gets tough on both teams. Hopefully we can go out, we can play a Friday single, a Saturday single, and a Sunday single. I think when you get into the Sunday games where the weather really shows up, I think the energy levels and the effort is there amongst both teams. When you get into that Sunday game, sometimes just the wind and the cold it knocks it out of you, and it's a matter of surviving the weekend as opposed to just going out and worrying about your opponent. Sometimes you just got to survive the weekend, play the game a little bit harder, a little bit longer, during the course of the 27 outs that you get each day. So I think that's what we'll be up against this week. Not only South Florida's talent, but a little bit of Mother Nature as well.
And regardless of the opponent, going into this weekend, it's our fourth straight weekend at home. We're coming off 2 games where we've had 27 hits the last 2 games. Maybe it's just the team getting into a little bit of a groove right now.
I think so. I think that we've improved ourselves offensively each weekend. Going back from Norfolk to the spring break to our first tournament, all the way up into Tuesday's game, I think that we are heading in the right direction, offensively, and that's kind of where we have 2 or 3 new players in the lineup. You have Zach, a junior college guy, Geegan, a junior college guy. This is their first experience of playing. One's from California, one's from Florida. So they're trying to acclimate themselves into the conditions that are going on. We've had a few injuries where certain guys were in the lineup. Now they're kind of coming back. So I think everything's settled down. Our lineup has settled down. We've been able to put a consistent lineup 1 through 9, where 7, 8 of the guys are hitting in the same order they've been able to day after day. And I think that everybody's gotten used to how to play the park again. I think sometimes you get away from yourself playing in some different parks, and I think we're back in a comfort level of knowing what we need to do from an offensive standpoint to have success offensively at Plymouth. So that's how I see the team on the offensive end right now.
All right, so that'll wrap up this week's Coach's Corner, and Villanova and USF are coming up at the ballpark this weekend.